awesome. So, Rob, tell us about what we're looking at here. Jack Irons, the
Jack
Steel
Irons, the
Cowboy.
Steel Cowboy issue 3. How can you be the top predator if there's something you cannot kill? Jack Irons rides again.
Nice. Well, that's got me
I did
hooked.
a quick video on this on my channel, just with some of the issues I had with the campaign page, and
Yeah,
it'll
nice
be
one.
interesting to see if you feel the same. So,
Yeah. Well, what's your channel again, Rob?
uh, Replicator on YouTube.
Replicator on YouTube. Cool. All right. So let's take a look. For mature audiences, all right, I'm in. Jack Irons, the Steel Cowboy. Howdy, folks. I'm Cody Fernandez, writer, creator of Jack Irons, the Steel Cowboy, and editor for Ironverse Comics, delivering you the best in the weird space west. Now, you may ask yourself there, okay, but can this fella prove it? You're a sharp one. Caught my bluff. See, even if we aren't currently the most successful attempt to bring this niche genre forward, we may be the most ambitious. With a solid track record of delivering gorgeous works, unlike anything else out there currently, and with backing by the great indie comic publisher Wicked Publishing, we're set and on track to continue to make something truly spectacular for years to come. We just need one more all-important ingredient. You, kind reader. All right. So we've got a little artwork here as well.
Yeah. What did you think of that opening?
I didn't mind it, actually. I thought it was kind of witty. It flowed pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mind that. I guess, again, it's not to do with the story itself, but they're lucky that it was really written well.
Yeah, you liked it. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, what about you?
I did not enjoy it.
You didn't enjoy it? Why is that?
It's just too long, and
Yeah,
it doesn't really say much.
yeah. No, that's what I mean. There's not a whole lot there, but it is at least written well. So it's fun to read if you're motivated to read all the way through it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right, Rob, in that regard. All right. So you want to take the reins on this one, Rob?
Yep. The story. Jack Irons, the Steel Cowboy, tells the story of a man trapped in two kinds of eternity. His mind and soul bears the memories of hundreds, maybe thousands of past lives, and his current body is unkillable and immortal. Ironverse Comics takes his poor, unfortunate soul and lets him loose in the galactic-wide Western apocalypse. Our universe is fractured into the four horsemen's sick whims, a cracked mirror of sentience life's deepest lust and fears made manifest in excess. Earth is a reservation kept safe by a corrupt alien government trying to maintain its fascist control over what a free galaxy is left by any means necessary. Humanity lives, cowers, and makes do alongside alien refugees and pilgrims behind the impenetrable walls of New Deadwood. When reality belongs to evil, heroes are inevitable. Welcome to Ironverse Comics.
Cool. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds really complicated.
Yeah.
I think with a story that complicated, the description of the story should be very simplified and fed to us like we're babies. Like,
yes, preaching to the choir, man. Like I was saying, it needs like a hook line because it just needs something that sums it up in one line that gets you really excited about it. I don't feel it's got that.
Absolutely. Like if you think about a movie trailer, for example, it doesn't really get into specifics. It wouldn't sound like our universe is fractured into the four horsemen's sick whims, a cracked mirror. Like that sounds like a poem or something.
Yeah.
And what you would have is in a world ruled by evil, right? And you'd like have the hero as a creator. Like this part is probably the most understandable, easiest to get part. When reality belongs to evil, heroes are inevitable. You know?
Yeah, like for example, Alien has in space, no one can hear you scream. That sounds cool.
Yeah, exactly. And that is a great headline.
Yeah.
And that's something that I haven't seen a whole lot in some of these campaigns is just that very classic model for copywriting where you've got the hook at the start, you might have the heading, then you got the subheading, and then you got like a few line description, like maybe like 3 lines max, and then
Yeah.
you get into the art, and that's enough. Like, I get that people worry about this and they put a lot of thought into the way in which they structure the actual wording, but in the end, it's not something which is going to be paid a whole lot of attention to, uh, unless it's really well written and unless it's short and catchy.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah. Anyway,
It's far too long for me.
yeah, it is a bit.
Yeah.
All right, but this is a cool cover. I love the cover. If I saw
Mate,
this right off the bat,
I've looked through this campaign before, and the artwork is close to a 10 out of 10 as you'll get, I reckon. In my
cool.
opinion. Yeah.
Well, this is a first time for me. I haven't seen it yet, so. All right, Mr. Fernandez.
So this is another strange thing I found, that he's got this large issue 1 cover and then this shrunken issue 2 cover, and I don't know why you would do that.
Yeah, is that an accident? Why is it shrunken
I don't
in
know.
comparison? Oh, they're all shrunk.
And I'm not sure if this is meant to be a cover itself or if this is just like an internal page.
Okay, it doesn't say that.
Oh, yeah. Not really. Not that I can see.
So there's 3 issues.
Yeah.
Okay. A mysterious figure from Jack's past has returned to challenge him. What does their centuries-long and violent series of yesterdays mean for Jack's future? Why has Earth's legendary top predator returned for Jack after a century of silence? Has Jack been bluffing in the bar all throughout issue 1 and 2, and is in fact just some drunk wasting away in a second-hand sci-fi saloon, struggling to keep an implausible story together? Okay. I do love the the way in which this character has been stylized. Really cool looking line work, nice shape, very impactful.
And this is another section here that I'm not sure as a creator myself. So it's got a link to the prior campaign, and I get why you want to be able to prove that you can produce a book and deliver it to backers and backers are happy. But then on the flip side to that, you're telling people who are on your page to go away from it.
Yep.
So they're less likely to, they're going to have to come back and then back the campaign. I just don't know where I sit on that. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's not a brilliant idea. You're spot on with that. You don't really want to have people click off of this campaign and on to something else, even if it is your previous campaign.
Yeah.
Ideally, you wouldn't have any links anywhere. Maybe at the bottom, if anything, but you certainly want to try to keep people for as long as you can on this page, because that's what counts, right? That's why the campaign is running.
And then you've got a link to, I think it's like a store, a Wicked publishing store.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so that's another thing. That's another strange thing.
All right. So can you order the comic books off of there?
I don't know.
Check that out in a moment.
I like this. I like this image here because it shows the comic books have been printed. They exist in the world. You can get the copies in your hands. Like, it's an actual thing.
Yeah, and we know that it's the same size as well.
Yes, they're the same size. Yes, important.
All right, cool. So we've got a bunch of information here as well. I'm assuming you don't want to go through that, Rob.
I do not, and that's another thing. Like comparing it back to Cyberfrog, which you can't compare anything to Cyberfrog because it's its own ginormous entity.
Yeah.
But the amount of information in Cyberfrog compared to this campaign, it's night and day.
Totally. It's difficult to take in everything here. It's hard to get through.
Yeah.
Whereas Cyberfrog is just very optimized.
Yep. It tells you what you're getting, what you need. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And maybe true. Ethan, because it's Ethan and Cyberfrog is ginormous, he doesn't have to put as much details as everyone else in. But I feel this campaign just has too much.
You know what? I don't think that has anything to do with his size. I think and reputation. I think it's got to do with exactly what we've kind of nailed, which is just letting the artwork speak for itself.
Yep.
Because it does. Like, you just don't need that much words on these campaigns. All right. Awesome.
So here's something I pointed out in the video that I made. We're halfway down the campaign page.
Yeah.
And we've not seen any sequential pages yet.
No, exactly. So, I mean, and, there's a lot of information here. I get that. But damn, I mean, like, I want to keep scrolling now because I don't want to deal with all this text.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's John Malin that says you don't want to go too far past the actual rewards.
Yeah, right.
Campaign page.
Okay. Very true.
You want people to be looking at the rewards while they're looking at the page.
That's a really good point.
And I don't know what this is. This is a thumbnail of some description, obviously, but I don't know why it's there.
Yeah. Okay, page 1 thumbnail. All right. See, this is awesome.
Amazing, yeah? Like,
yeah.
How good is that?
Man, why would you leave this till last? This is so cool. Okay. Yeah, this is amazing, man. Like, the inks are all top notch.
Yep.
Great looking colors as well.
Colors are fantastic. Inks are great. Lettering's top quality as well.
Yeah. That looks amazing.
Yep.
Okay. Wait, so what's this? The same thing?
It's just it's a process page.
Oh, so the lettering has been put in now.
Yep. So from inks to colors to letters.
Cool. All right, we've got some more stuff here. Man, I got to remember not to put so much text on my campaign if I ever launch one.
Yeah, when you launch.
When I launch. You're going to hold me to that, huh, Rob?
Yeah, you know.
All right. So, yeah, man, just fantastic all the way through. Very consistent art, which is what I like to see. The same artist all the way through.
Yeah.
Pretty cool panels. Nice and dynamic shots. Good amount of contrast within the inks. Lots of nice black and white values jumping off of one another.
But it just keeps on going.
Yeah, it does. It really does. Okay, cool. Another link to somewhere else?
Yeah. I ran a poll on Twitter just asking actual backers how many sequential pages you should have on your campaign page.
Yep.
And the most popular result was between 5 and 10.
Yeah. So, which I think is perfect.
Yeah. I asked a follow-up question too. I asked, do you want to see unleaded pages or leaded pages? So it was pretty close between unleaded and leaded. I think leaded in the end won, but it was like 52% to 48%. So somewhere between 5 and 10, having a combination of both would be good.
Yeah, absolutely. And that makes a lot of sense because when you're submitting your comic book portfolio for review, usually they only want to see 6 good pages anyway.
Yeah.
Because people just don't have that much time. That's what everybody needs to remember is when they are checking out a campaign like this, they're doing it for like 2 to 5 minutes maybe over their lunch break. And they're just not going unless like you've got something that's really, really special, that's really pulling them in, that's engaging. They're not going to stay there for a long period of time. So you kind of have to sell it within like the first minute or so.
Yeah.
Right. Within that first, wherever their eye is going to be drawn to first on the page, that's where you have to sell the book. So cool. We've got a cool little figure here, which I think is all right.
Yeah, it's cool.
And then more art.
Yep. And the art is great.
It's beautiful.
What would
Love
you
the
give the art
colors.
out of 10?
It's a solid style. It's, again, we've talked about this before. It's not our preferred style necessarily, that we would necessarily do our comic book within, but it is still very solid in my opinion. So I don't know, man. I would give it I'd give it a 9.
Yep.
Yeah, what would you give it? A 10?
Oh, yeah, I'd say 10 for the style that it is. Yeah, it's similar to. It reminds me of Monster MD a bit, just different.
Yeah. It
Um,
reminds me a bit of Mike Mignola as well,
oh yeah,
the guy who did Hellboy.
yep.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, this is a
I
bit
mean, like
too long.
these sequential pages are great.
They are, aren't they?
Yeah, it's just a shame that we're at the bottom of the page and we're seeing them now.
Yeah, it would have been awesome to see this at the top. You do want a little bit of mystery to your comic book. So even if you don't have a full explanation for every single aspect of your story in writing, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, people are still they're going to be intrigued as to what your story is about if the visuals are good enough.
Yeah. All right, should we go over the rewards?
Yeah. Let's do it. We finally reached the bottom. Okay, so we're back at the top here. Oh, hang on a second. Okay. Cool. So we've got the complete package for $38.
Yeah. So you get all 3 comics, a sticker, an 11x17 pinup, and the digital as well. One thing I
Yeah.
noted when I did the video on this campaign was that you got the digital first. I'd put that right at the bottom, and have all the rest at the top, as well as putting issue 1 comic, issue 2 comic, or issue 3 comic, just to make that a little bit clearer.
Yeah, totally. Maybe call it, hard cover or, printed. Cool.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think that's an amazing
But you
price.
don't want the digital to be the first thing that people see
Yeah,
when
that's
they
true.
click on it.
Yeah. I mean, the value that you're getting for that is pretty damn good.
Yeah, yeah. And here's another point I raised. You've got digital here,
Yeah.
and then another digital tier. I've said this before, but Indiegogo has the most loyal print copy fans that you're ever going to find. So I honestly, I don't think you need to do digital on Indiegogo. If you're doing Kickstarter, sure. Kickstarter's got a massive digital fan base. But Indiegogo, the majority of people want print copies.
Yeah, big time. And we've said it before as well, like, if you're going to put digital anywhere, put one digital perk at the bottom of all the other perks. If you're going to have it at all, really. Because the truth of the matter is that most people enjoy having that printed copy within their hands that they can actually read and hold.
Yeah.
And if you look at, just the stats, right, the market research that we're seeing here, you've got the complete package up the top with 19 claimed, and then for the digital version only, you've got 4 claimed.
Yeah.
So it's a massive gap.
Yeah, huge.
Okay, the digital package, again, only 3 of that claimed. No one really likes digital, at least right now, not until we figure out a way to, I guess, deliver digital comic books in a more palatable, more satisfying way.
Yeah, and not on Indiegogo either.
Yeah,
You can
not
do
on
digital,
Indiegogo.
leave it on Kickstarter.
Or leave it on your website or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
So you've got issue 3 and extras. 15 people have picked that up.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
And then the store bundle. And then the steel.
So you get 5 of each issue.
So 15 copies and 5 pinups.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
For $91. Cool. What? That's awesome value.
Only ships to the USA, though. That's something to note.
Yeah, right. That's interesting.
And see, this one here is called the Steal. This is a point that I'm pretty sure your boys Zach and Ethan have both said. Don't name your tiers cool names.
Yeah.
You just want to have what's in them if you possibly can. So
Yeah,
this would
totally.
be choose sticker, pin up, metal print type thing. Obviously, you want to improve on that, but that's the idea.
Yeah. Big time. And then you get the figure as well. Oh, that's pretty cool. Pretty expensive figure,
Yeah.
but one of a kind.
Yep.
All right, nice. So you get all the comics in that one, obviously, the digital versions and the hard copies, and then you get the sticker, the pin-up, the comic size metal print, and then the Jack Irons painted figure, hand painted figure,
Yep.
which is worth noting. Okay, cool. So what are your closing thoughts on this one, Rob? Rob?
Something. 78 backers. I honestly think, based off the quality of art alone, it should be much, much higher than that.
Mm,
I think the
agree.
art is 9 or 10 out of 10, and I think the campaign page just really lets the campaign down. That's just what I think. What do you think, Clayton?
Yeah, I think it killed it a little bit.
Yeah,
For me
I
as
mean, by the
well.
end, you're just like, God, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, and man, if it had been like a fraction of the text on this campaign and then the rest was just the artwork, that would have been all you needed to sell this and to draw people in, I think.
Yeah,
Again, I think people just worry so much about how their campaign rather is going to go. Got a bit of a word salad going on today.
yeah.
And so they kind of overcompensate with this stuff, and it's not necessary.
And he's got like this line up here above video by Dollar Coins and Laguna Munta. Like,
Oh,
how's
where?
that? It's not relevant to us.
Yeah,
Put it down in your if you have an about the art team, put it down in there.
yeah, totally. Well, yeah, I think I agree with you. The art is fantastic as well, but man, the
Yeah,
this
I
all of
I,
this put me
I
off big
really
time.
think that with a campaign, you've got the first 3 days, which are the big ones, and then the final 3 days, which are the other big ones. Everything else is either dead zone or a downward slope. I think he really should take some feedback on board and change his page around for those final 3 days.
Yeah, totally. So what exactly would you say he should change as a priority,
I
Rob?
would cut like 80% of the text.
Yeah, cut it down and simplify it.
Yeah, and I would put the sequentials right at the top, 5 to 10, like we polled people on. That would be a good enough start. If you did that, I'd probably back it, honestly.
Totally, man.
But I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because I'm a creator myself, I run campaigns myself. That if the campaign page is set up like this, it turns me off straight away. So
Well, no, I think as
I
a backer
won't be
too,
back in
man.
that at this stage.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you're interested in comic books, you're going to be a visual person.
yeah,
And so it's the artwork that is going to sell your comic book first and foremost. And when you really think about it, why does a potential backer, come to the page? What do they want to know about? There's only a few things. One, they want to know if it's going to look good and if the story is going to be okay. They also want to know what they're going to get as well. So if you just take those 3 or 4 basic things that you need to give to the backers, the information that is most necessary in a very short and precise way, kind of like a Twitter post, right?
yeah.
Then that's what's going to be the best thing you could possibly opt for in order to sell your book.
And you're gambling on people watching the video and clicking all those images on that upper bar. And
Yeah,
I don't do that all the time. Sometimes I'll only watch a video if I've heard, oh, that video is sick, you should watch it. I'll go and watch it then. But otherwise, I won't watch it.
yeah, big time, man.
Yep. So
And
what about you? Would you back this one?
you know what? I'm gonna actually have to hesitate and think about it for a little while, Rob.
Yeah.
Like it's not one of those campaigns that grab me instantly that I absolutely have to have. And I don't know what that is because of, because I do like the art. I think it's cool, but something's just not clicking about this campaign for me. It hasn't
Hmm.
quite been pitched to me in the way that in a way that is going to sell me on what it is.
All right, so that's Jack Irons, the Steel Cowboy issue 3. Oh, one final thing is he's got issue 3 in the heading. I would like to see some sort of change where you're aware that you're going to be able to get issue 1 and 2 as well.
Yeah,
Just because, you know, if I'm someone with no time and I see, oh, issue 3, oh, I've missed out on 1 and 2, there's no point even looking at it. And
yeah,
I'm not
totally.
sure how accurate that actually is, like how many people are going to do that, but it's something that I wouldn't want to risk.
Yeah, well, if you had Jack Irons, the Steel Cowboy complete set, that'd make you click.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
Um, and yeah, this is the website. So there's a few projects on here. And again, it's just that creates so many different options and places to go for the audience when really you want their attention to just be on this campaign.
Yeah.
All right, cool, man. Shall we move on?
Yeah, let's go.